Hey, Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I have another quick tip for you. So today I'm going to talk about an issue many of us face when we're creating a new Google Ads campaign, and that is how do we work through quality assurance and validating campaigns are set correctly before launching. So what most of us commonly do is we pause the campaign. So as soon as we create like the very first version of it, but still have work to do, we'll just pause that, right? And then we'll go in and we'll make a whole bunch of adjustments. Maybe we add some ad extensions and things like that. But there are some issues with that that I'm going to talk about today. So the first thing with pausing the campaign is that your keyword status changes, and if you look at this example where we have information that the bid is actually below the first page, which is useful and would facilitate changing keyword bids, when you pause the campaign, you essentially block the status. And so you're not aware that your bids are too low in this case. So as part of your QA process, you won't know to go and increase those. So then, of course, once you launch the campaign, a day later, a couple days later, whatever, then you're dealing with all these keywords that are below page one. So things like projections, estimates for cost per click, they're going to be way off. So um, instead of doing that, we do have a solution. But before I get into that, the other big issue you have with this is if you have somebody else that needs to do the review, or even if you have a whole bunch of campaigns that you're launching, you need to review yourself. Once you pause those campaigns, in order to view them, you need to change the view in Google Ads so that you view all active and pause campaigns, and that's fine. But if if you're launching a dozen campaigns and you have 100 paused ones in the account, it can be tough to find the ones that you're supposed to be reviewing. So it's a more minor issue, but it is a problem. One of the ways you can work around that is to add like a draft text to the beginning of each campaign name, and that's what we would typically do. But there's a simpler solution that we implement at my agency, um, which is simply adjusting the start date in the campaign settings to 1 or 2 days in the future. And so what that does is it allows you to build the campaign and see, the keyword information, and the campaigns will appear as active, but they won't actually be running. So the nice thing is, you're not spending money on a campaign you're not ready to launch. The campaigns will show up in the active list of campaigns, so they're easy to find and do QA. And you'll have more details about the status of keywords and in other areas as well. So it's a very simple thing. The other thing to point out with that is if I set the start date to a week in advance, but then I decide I want to start tomorrow, I can go ahead and change that date. As long as the campaign hasn't started, I can adjust that start date. So it's a great way to manage new campaign rollout and make life easy for both yourself and for anybody that has to review that campaign before launch. That's it for today. I hope this tip helps, and I'll see you next time.